Boop, boop, boop. All right, get the lecture started. Big breathing. I did look up some beginner project ideas that I might try. Like if I feel, I don't know, a little bored, a little antsy, wanting to do like real longer things. But so far, learning this stuff, this is pretty good. Honestly, like even with having myself stream this, uh, I have to still kind of around my brain. I guess would be I would say it. 'Cause I was debating on whether to just doing TFT tonight, like take a break from lecture, because my brain was like, well, it's 2 lectures before I start doing more problem solving. I might as well do that Monday, Tuesday, because that makes more sense. And I should just take today off and do gamering. But realistically, that's a terrible idea. Because since I don't have a deadline, right? Since I'm not taking an actual course or anything, it doesn't do anything for me to go back and re-listen to this lecture on Monday for some degree if I need to. Because what happened is well, usually for me, if I do that sort of thing, and sometimes that's how it is for other people, uh, is when you're in a situation where um like you don't have that luxury, right? Like say you have a deadline, but you've already trained yourself of like, oh well, I don't want to do anything on Friday night, kind of deal. Come back to bite you in the ass in the future because it becomes a habit. Now, part of it is also just dependent on motivation, right? Like it's kind of funny because when I was doing my associate's degree and all that stuff, like I was in schooling, I was particularly lazy. I'd skip whatever classes I could and stuff like that. Calculate how many classes I could skip before taking uh the merits and stuff like that. But as soon as the paycheck was involved, I was even I had to run on 4 hours of sleep. I was at work. I was up in the morning at work, ready to go to work. Because the problem is that like me as a person has a if I'm not motivated to do something, which I feel like is kind of like the case, but I feel like for me it's like worse than the average person. Uh, it's hard for me to find the self motivation to do something. Like if it doesn't pique my interest, or if I don't feel an urgency for it. And unfortunately, in my current situation, the impetus for the urgency would be too late. It'd be a situation where, oh, finally, a fucking Matt, Magna 3 gun. So this is where like I guess I'm finding the drive because I don't know, I always found it amusing when people would be like, "Wow, how do you stream something?" I'm like, it's I'd be sitting on my computer playing games anyway, so I might as well you know, click an extra button and stream while I'm at it. Make a little extra pennies here and there. Try to pay for more games, stuff like that. So I don't completely run my savings dry that quick. But I have no like income. So that's why but I've had the luxury of being lazy for long enough. So as long as I remind myself of that, I can usually it does a pretty good job of letting me kick myself in the butt. Not like I'm being overly hard focused on this either, because like if I was super hard focused on this, I'd be streaming this like during the day stream and the night stream. But I also don't want to get burnt out. Like, cause I have the luxury right now to be able to take this kind of at my own pace, rather than having to rush it and crunch and all that kind of stuff. So like, convert a whole binary. I don't think we've learned that. I don't know. It's all about finding things that help you motivate. This is the way I've discovered to make things work out. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. I just realized I should be. Oh, I know what I should be doing. I've been wondering how I wanted to like save these, but I I wrote them down. It's not what I should be doing. I should be writing like uh writing them in a file and then just having that file and then looking back and then having comments for like what I need. What's up, Zler? How's your day go? Doing this makes me want to like reinstall. My desk is supposed to have this little like side desk thing that you can pull out, and I took it off like forever ago because I liked having like just the wide desk to move my chair back and forth. But now this makes me want to like reinstall it so I can have a notebook on it. Oh, what is that? Been fine. Good to hear. Good to hear. Any uh, any luck on drops today? I finally got another Tiamat gun finally after getting 20 billion of everything else. Didn't get anything else after that, but you know, hey, baby steps, I guess. Do some farming in sandbox. Need to do more farming in sandbox. Honestly, I need to get my 5-star Frau online just for peace of mind. There's too much. I think I have enough of the quartz. I think I just need literally everything else. And I think I have enough sands that I can finish transcending all of my summons. So the next couple sands, I think I can like save towards transcending her. Kind of surprised I didn't get this idea before to make a file to save all of this stuff. Write this correctly? I don't think this should be pausing. Like this should be doing this where it's running infinite. Three sands again. Gold Wars the 250 Bahamut. 50. Those are decisions, because I mean, Water Guild Wars is in January. So the Leviathan transcending is a pretty decent choice. To be honest, I don't know about 250 Baja. Just because so many comps now use, so many more comps use Lucifer for like everything. But I don't know if like Baja's still worth transcending if you haven't finished all your Magna summons. I feel that's just more personal choice. And then the evoker is, I guess it kind of just depends on what evoker you want to transcend. Like for me, I would probably prioritize the Magna summons into evoker, just because I wouldn't be surprised if you never know, they just randomly start transcending evokers for shits and giggles. I think I messed something up because this part's working, but it's not going to this part. Remain there. And to remain there every time it goes through. But then for some reason, it's not going from here to here for it to binary. So you get stuck on this part when it shouldn't. What am I missing? Nothing. Let's see if this one also works. Or this one does what it's supposed to do. Yeah, okay, this one works. That means something on mine is off. Oh shit. We need to figure out what that something is. Oh, well, we forgot this one, this part, for starters. Well, if I would actually, man, what happened to my brain? It just completely ignored the rest of this, the entire bottom part of it. Starring Vasilio would also be great, both for upcoming guild wars. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think like yeah, I could see that. I feel like it's a bit of a coin flip between Leviathan and Veselia. Because like 5 starring Moonchild is great because she's so strong. But on the flip side, that also leads credence to 5 starring, like fully transcending Leviathan, because aura, which affects everything, right? Including the 5 starred Veselia. Which is why I feel like it's kind of up in the air between the Magna summons, or at the very least Leviathan and the 5 star Evoker. This no. I should print this. How is this an end? Oh, because I forgot the second parenthesis. All right. AKA, same problem I had when doing some of the problem assignments. Fucking read. Read. I don't know why. My brain just skips entire sentences. Back to the lecture. This also like takes me an hour, 2 hours to get through an hour lecture. Bro, this lecture is like 47 minutes. We're an hour in. I'm at like 16 minutes. But honestly, because I keep pausing and writing things. Gotta crash it. Jimbo, you have yet to stop crashing out. Jimbo, you can't come in here every time and say that and then like expect me not to say that you haven't stopped. You have to hit a stopping point before you can say that again. Also, no, don't go to casino. Just gamble on a gotcha game or something. It's cheaper. All right, there, Goku, simmer down. He's about to dye his hair blue before he goes to the casino. Friends paying for your parlay. What you need is actual sleep, Jimbo, not fucking casino. Slept all day, just woke up. Go to sleep some more. Problem solved. Don't wake up yet, Jimbo. You're still in your dream. You gotta go to bed. You haven't eaten? 24 hours not eating ain't gonna kill you, Jimbo. But for real, Jimbo, we need to talk about your crashing out dilemma. One of these days, this has to stop. You've been crashing out for like half the year. Oh, that's insane. Oh, also no regrets on getting the celestial axe. That thing is, whew, I love it. It's so good. Me, I hated school. Take all these notes, take tests, and do homework. Also me, now voluntarily sitting here taking notes and technically doing homework. Well, not really homework though. You know, you know what I mean. Pain, Pecco. Gracias por el agua. Also really weird. I don't like typing up my notes. I don't know why. It affects my brain. I guess it's part of me is a little old school. I need to write it down on pen and paper. But then the slight problem is that my penmanship is atrocious. Like if I even want a decent shot, a legible note in regards to like actually trying to write it out at a decent speed, I have to write in all uppercase. Because for some weird reason, when I write in lowercase, my brain just wants to mush everything together. Like no spaces, no nothing. Turn into one long hashtag. Makes it a bit of a shit show when you try to reread back later, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks after, if not months, and then you're just like, what the hell does any of this mean? Kind of like decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs almost on my note paper, and I'll have people be like, Mello, what's that mean? I'll be like, that's a damn good question. I wish I knew. Didn't you take the notes? Yeah, don't mean I know how to read them. But then if I type, it's just, I don't know, my brain just shuts down. It's kind of weird. To be fair, in high school, I had to, when I was taking algebra, I had to go in after class every day, after on test days, like after school, to retake the test because the tests were done on the computer, and I would always fail the test on the computer. Uh, but if I went in to take the test after school, and I wouldn't study either, like extra, I would ace the test if I wrote it down with pen and paper, like just by hand. And my algebra teacher was just like, I have no idea what's going on. I was like, I'm just fucking weird, teacher. I don't know what to tell you, but I appreciate you. He was good people. He had to help my brain untangle itself from the shit show that was pre-algebra being taught by a dyslexic math teacher who, yeah, that was a bit of a problem. It was pretty bad. There was like half the tests we took. We had an honor student, like an AP math honor student in our course in high school when I was taking pre-algebra. And they would fail. They failed like half the exams, specifically because his dyslexia would cause him to write the answer wrong, and he had nobody to like. He had like no assistant or anything to double check to make sure everything was written properly. And what we wouldn't know until we would get the test back, and he would always do test reviews where he would sit there and like work through all the problems, and nothing quite like him being like, man, I'm surprised so many people got this question wrong, and he'd write out the question correctly in class, and we'd be like, that's not what was on the test. Sometimes. Or the other kicker would be he'd write the answers the wrong way too, because it'd be multiple choice half the times. Dyslexic math teacher, how like that even happen in the first place? Good question. Good fucking question. Honestly, he knew math. He knew math in and out. Like, and if he was doing like actual high level stuff, because he was the algebra 3 teacher and the AP like calculus teacher, and he was really good at those classes. I never heard much issues, but for some weird reason, they had him on pre algebra, and he sucked for that. Because I think for when he was teaching the higher math classes, he had a teacher's assistant who he would just have double check the tests to make sure everything was written properly. He didn't have that for pre algebra. It was a pretty small school. But like, bro, that it fucked with my mind so badly because I'm usually pretty good with math. So my algebra teacher, my algebra 1 teacher, who was probably one of the I've had a lot of pretty decent math teachers over the years, but it was probably definitely top 2 for best math teachers I ever had. Dude taught high school because he wanted to, and then I think it was like a couple of years after I'd graduated high school. I didn't graduate from that high school. Because military family, yeah, we moved to a different high school. But I found out like years after graduation, I think about like 6 years or something, he had eventually taken up the job at a university, one of the major universities in Texas, UT, like well, the actual university of Texas. Uh, as a, I think they had him as like one of those really high end theoretical math professors. I was like, oh shit. But thankfully, he was the type to not give up on students. So I was in his class every day after school, trying to like understand, trying to like unfuck my brain. And we succeeded, which is great. Except I have this weird trope where I suck at taking tests on computers. Actually, I know what the other problem was. The other problem was that all of the pre-algebra tests were multiple choice and Scantron. So while the advanced math classes were written answers, so it'd be pretty easy for him to pick up if you wrote the answer like the question wrong. Well, the Scantron you just scan it, hand it back. You're just kind of fucked until we find out later. But yeah, interesting teachers I've had. Also, when I was in middle school, like sixth grade, I had a math teacher that I swear, if you had told me he was like one of those Men in Black aliens, I would have believed you. Because I swear to God, I in the entire year I spent in that school, because that was like the last year I spent in there before we moved, in that state before we moved. Uh, I don't think I ever saw him not sitting in his rolly chair. I've literally seen him roll down the hallway in that chair to go to the office to grab papers and then come back. And he had no medical problems, mind you. Like this is not like I'm not talking like I'm talking just like a rolly computer chair. Like that was a terrible math teacher though. He sucked at teaching math. I think it was a fucking miracle that I passed the math state testing portion of it. That school was just bad for teaching for the most part, just specifically because of the fact that like all of our teaching, because well, that's Virginia. Um, oh, minus, not an underscore. They basically just taught out of the state testing manual because we had a state test every year while I was there. But this was a long time ago. I think they stopped doing that before I graduated high school. I don't wish it was a coding class in the second high school I was at. The second high school I was at was the one where I took like a bunch of extracurricular stuff like welding, mechanics. I took AutoCAD courses. I took mechanical drafting courses, which is AutoCAD. I had to mess with a bunch of that kind of stuff. It was pretty fun. I don't remember there being a coding class, or else I might have tried taking it. That was funny. I went from a high school in Texas to a high school in Kansas, and I was so far ahead on credits needed that after my junior year of high school, I only needed to pass 2 classes to graduate. Like I literally could have failed everything else, and I still would have graduated because I had all the basic credits. To be honest, I could have replaced all my classes with like just study period classes. Like it was an option. My counselor was like, "You want to do that?" My mother was like, "Not in your life." She's like, "I don't trust you. You're taking classes. Fill that schedule up." So I got a bunch of classes, a bunch of courses, and a couple TA positions. Well, no, I think it's just the one. I think I tried to get 2, but then the second one didn't work out. It was good though. It was actually a good move. In all honesty, let me try a bunch of stuff because the high school had a lot of like technical things to try out. It was pretty fun. Absolutely spoiled the crap out of my assistant. Well, basically, our band had a secretary, and I was a TA for the band. I was gonna originally be TA for a different teacher, but a friend of mine had already gotten the paper signed for him, and that teacher was gonna be like, "Oh, I'll just go and tell him, to swap you guys, and he'll just have to find someone else." And I was like, "Hold up, I'm not that much of a dick." So I just went to the band one because that one was pretty easy. I knew nobody ever wanted to do that one, and bruh, I did that for the first semester of my senior year, and then after that, when I left, she was just like, You want to come back? Because I'd always hang around there like during lunch break. So usually I'd pick up slack because they had some of the juniors take over for the second semester, and they just they just didn't have the touch. You know, they just weren't good like I was keeping stuff going. And they didn't even have the hard one either. Because I did it during the first semester. We had marching band, so I always had to be moving the drum major platforms by myself. Granted, to me those things were pretty light, so I didn't really care. Yeah, I had a relatively colorful high school experiences. I had an algebra calculus teacher. I forget which of the two it was. I also sucked at teaching and most of the stuff at the time on your own to read the textbook prior to class starting, and then like half the class would come to me for understanding everything that the teacher tried to teach stuff. Oh man, I was whenever I had like really bad teachers, especially for math, I just didn't have the drive to open the textbook because I was lazy. But I think algebra two, I was so good at algebra two because like what my algebra two teacher would do is he would assign us the homework ahead of time. Like at the beginning of class, he'd have it written on like a corner of a whiteboard. He's like, "This is homework or whatever." So that way, he wouldn't have to worry about forgetting at the end of class. I would finish homework before he finished the lecture, like before he finished teaching the teaching portion of it, and then I would turn it in at the end of class because my biggest weakness in school was not that I didn't do the homework, but I would leave it just randomly somewhere and I'd forget to take it with me to class. And he picked up on that pretty quick. Like half of my teachers from junior to senior in the second high school I went to basically forced me to tutor the like other students in class. I'd be like, "Come on, man, let me take a nap." They're like, "Nope, get to work." Like shit. I didn't really mind it because I had friends in all the classes, so I'd just help them out. But yeah, not to that degree. Like, because that was all thanks to that algebra teacher. He completely like fixed my brain on that. But I don't know. It's really weird. I don't think I've ever taken a class where the teacher was really bad at teaching. I was like motivated to like learn it myself. I don't know why. I think it's mostly because I'm lazy as fuck, honestly. Because I can definitely do it. I've taught myself plenty of things over the years, but I don't know. Just that, I'm good. It's like, oh, well, the teacher doesn't know. I sure as fuck don't know. The trippiest part though was in in university. So like I went to university initially for mechanical engineering, which to be fair, I should have just gone for computer engineering, computer science instead. Well, I should have gone into like literally any other engineering because I had a mild interest in electrical engineering. My original goal was to get a. They had this degree program for dual bachelors in mechanical engineering and computer engineering, and that's what I really wanted to learn. But when I went to go sign up, well, basically when it was my turn to enroll, when we showed up for the enrollment process, they were like, by the way, that program doesn't exist anymore. You guys now have to choose which one you want to be in, with no real foreknowledge about which one would be better. Because the interesting part about that degree was it wasn't actually twice as many classes. They just took the courses that were really important for each, and you just took them. And then, but basically, I had to like I chose mechanical engineering, and that was the worst decision ever. Not because the topic was bad, but because the department was atrocious. It was the worst engineering department out of all of them. I should have been a red flag when I realized that every single engineering course, like major you could have taken, had its own independent intro to XYZ engineering, right? Like the electrical engineers had their own, the chemical engineers had their own, the computer engineers had their own. Like everybody had their own specialized introductory course. But if you took the mechanical engineering course, you would just take the same introduction to engineering course that the general engineering students would take, because there was a basically a the general engineering, it wasn't like a major, but it was you know uh an engineering study, or like engineering, I forget what it was called. The class layout was for if you were interested in engineering but you didn't really know what you wanted to do. So there was an intro to engineering course which was very generic and went a little bit over everything that would get you to it. I should have taken that as a red flag that I probably shouldn't have done it. And the fucking ugh, the counselors were terrible. They really just didn't do shit to help you at all whatsoever. And at first I thought that was just how it was, but then I went to like counseling sessions with some of my other friends who were in other engineering courses, and some of the friends I knew who were, at the time I was dating someone, and I would sit like outside of the counseling office while she was getting it done uh for her major, which was completely different. And I was just like, damn, this place mine sucks. And I should have like swapped, but at the time like swapping majors was heavily frowned upon. Not necessarily frowned upon, but kind of like one of those things like nobody really told you, and so you really didn't do it. But it was really funny though, because I would sit there in the study rooms in the dorm. And to be fair, part of the reason I failed out of university was because of laziness. Well, not part of the reason, the entirety of the reason. That's because I just didn't go to class. But like, I'd have guys who are doing like calculus 3 problems like on the whiteboard. Meanwhile, my ass like taking calculus 1 for the third time in a row. I was just sitting there, and they'd be like, "Why is this problem wrong?" And I'd look up there and I'd be like, "Oh, you guys like messed up the 20 and the 200." And it used to be like flipped. And they'd be like, "Mello, you don't know what you're talking about. You in calculus 1." I'm like, "Do it, see what happens." They would do it. They'd be like, "Why the fuck are you still in calculus 1?" I was like, "Because I want to sleep in the mornings. Shrug shoulders. Can't help it. I like my sleep. I hate 8 a.m. 8 a.m. should be illegal for schools, for learning. Unless it's for like stuff like, I don't know, very basic government science, like government classes and geography classes. Yeah, probably my biggest issue is I don't know why. Like as a whole, my brain is just coded to procrastinate on everything. It takes a lot of like willpower to overcome that, and sometimes I just don't feel like doing it, like overcoming my procrastination tendencies, unless it's something I'm interested in, which is really a bad habit. I've gotten better with it as I've gotten older, but even then, still not perfect. Oh, that's what happens. That's kind of fucked. Anyway. I'm not gonna lie, I've not been very focused on this lecture. Like, it's part of the reason why, like, I kind of figured that was gonna be the case. I'm probably gonna have to revisit this lecture in the future, at the very least, the slides and stuff, because that's part of the reason why, like, I kind of knew ahead of time when my brain was like, well, why do we just don't do this tonight and we play a game instead? That's when I was like, oh, one of those days. But I wanted to like actually at least write the code. I feel like one thing I've seen a lot that people online talk about is like just write code. Just get in the habit of doing it. Which is why I was looking up there is uh some projects, like small little projects I could do for Python for whenever it was like a day like today, right? Where my brain's not in a point where listening to a lecture is kind of constructive. Like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget like half of this once we swap over to Zenless later. Because I need something. My brain is in one of those phases where it needs to be actively doing something and thinking about something instead of just like trying to listen. Oh shit. Yeah, so I was looking up little projects while this is running. And I have a couple ideas that seem pretty interesting. I went to Reddit. Oh, there it is. The worst thing though ever was because I was looking for like little beginner projects for Python kind of deal, just like goals and stuff. And I went to Reddit, and there was people that gave pretty good hey, here's a list of websites to check out and stuff like that. Like here's GitHub and all this other stuff. And someone's like, well, the way to do it is just don't ask for these types of things. Just go figure out what you need to be done. And I'm like, bro, not everybody works that way. Calm down. Show your tater tots. Like some of us don't know what's possible, and just telling us just do something doesn't really fix it. Having somewhat of an idea is nice. But luckily, other people were kind enough to put actual things, which is something that I actually want to do. It was actually something I was planning on doing when I felt like a little bit more comfortable with Python. I was trying to find like a little project to just do things with. There's one that I was actually kind of interested in, which was creating a small blockchain. Yeah, so I might do that on Fridays. Like try to find a little project to work on alongside this, and then and just do that where like Monday through Thursday will be the lectures because usually Monday through Thursday my brain's a bit more absorbent, and then I don't know, my brain's just wired that like Friday, Saturday, Sunday just doesn't want to do shit like at all. I had a hard time with starting classes on Friday, which is why usually when I try to like sign up for classes, I'd try to make sure I didn't have like anything super crazy on a Friday evening. Because Friday during the day is good, but Friday at night, my brain is like, it's party time, baby, or just time to do something else. Which I feel like that's kind of just normal for people. So I think I might just try to find a little project, like a little Python project to work on, so that way Friday nights it's a bit more like engaging to my brain. It's just trying to decide what to do. Because I'd also like wouldn't mind if uh it was a like something I could use, right? Is it a side program I could use whenever I needed it for something? I don't know what for. My brain was thinking of maybe something like TFT related, but with the fact that something like augments and stuff, it was like TFT related, maybe something gotcha related to keep track of like how many materials I need for something, like stuff like that. So I wouldn't have to do like numbers. But you know, a nice little project that engages my brain, makes use of something else I'm interested in, and then is useful just to keep using it, kind of deal. It'd be kind of nice. Just a little thing. I'll probably spend some of the weekend maybe looking it up. What crosses my mind. I say this, but probably not. I'll probably spend the weekend just playing video games. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, it's not bad. Because that was one really sound advice that I saw when looking for a little project. People were just like, try to find something that you do on a daily basis that you can just automate with code. So for me, it's like obviously that's going to be gaming related because my parents don't really do anything that I feel like could use program that I would code. Just because they don't really. I mean, my parents are pretty old, so I have to do my own kind of like think ups. We did it. We made it. It took 2 hours to get through a 47-minute lecture. Winning. To be fair, part of that is due to the fact that I could. It's just the way I learn things kind of slows things down. They have like the PowerPoint slides, the example codes and stuff like that, like already handed out to you. But I'm someone who I need to hear it. I need to physically like write it. I guess if that makes sense. In order for in order to uh actually retain the information. And so a lot of it is pausing it, writing out the code, going back and forth, updating it, changing it as they change it, stuff like that. Especially like, and I feel like it's probably going to be even worse as things get more complicated because probably have to be backtracking back and forth. Uh, so now we do the finger exercise for this. See if we can figure it out. Assume you're given a string variable named string. Write a piece of Python code that prints out a new string containing even indexed characters from my example. If my string A, B, C, D, then your code should print out A, C. It should just be. That's not. It was the range. I went to go check the solution. So this was right. It's just and my idea for the length was right. It's just I keep forgetting that it needs to be like that's the ending. But like my brain had the correct assumption for things. It's just not the uh it wasn't like I didn't know how to do it. Because my thought was use range and length in some capacity, and then obviously the steps of two, which would zero, you skip over one, two. But basically, it's just minus two or zero divided by two divided by two is zero. Two divided by four divided by two is two. Six divided by so on and so forth. It's supposed to take the even ones. I kind of knew like how I wanted to do it. I just didn't understand how to write it. I had like I had the right direction. I just have the specific. Even though I have no idea how this has anything to do with what the lecture was about. This feels like from a previous lecture. The lineup. Right, ad break is starting soon. I think I'm gonna go get some more water and then just fire up some Zenless. Get that rolling. Time. So quick little bathroom break. I'm probably gonna have to like revisit some of the coding or something at some point. Pretty sure that that most of that did not stick. The only thing is I don't know how much of it needs to stick, considering the fact that the end of the lecture was, is there a faster, better way to do this? Yes, that's next lecture. So this might be one of those things where it was just they're teaching us because it's like, well, here's the basics, the foundation of like what's coming next. But I imagine there has to be something it's for. But yeah, be back. All right, made through the studying guide to this. I will say that in regards to like terrible teachers for that I've had, I don't think the worst can trump who I had for university. Uh, CAD, like my AutoCAD, my drafting university course, because that dude, I won't say that he doesn't know what he's doing because like whenever he was like showing stuff like and like just working, he smooth as butter trying to work through it. Double drops, you say? Hey, yo, sign me up. How you doing? But he was not what I would call teaching material at all whatsoever. He just wouldn't teach you anything. You'd have questions for him, and he'd give you some of the vaguest fucking answers. And then the worst part was on the finals, because in the finals, it was like a multi-day project thing. Like we basically had our final. I think it was like 3 weeks, but you know, obviously, you don't have the full 3 weeks because we were only allowed to work on it in class. Like we couldn't work on it outside of class for whatever reason. Uh, and I just tried to zoom out like I was playing Atelier Ryza. And it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was hard per se, but it was like pretty intensive. Like it was going to take a while to get through it unless you knew exactly what you were doing and speedrunning through it. And so what happened is that on the very last day when the final was due, he did an absolute shit job of like cutting people off at their actual deadline of their class, like when the class is done. And me and my roommate were taking the class together, and we had the same exact class. Like that wasn't even planned. We just happened to both sign up for the same like hour bracket for it. And so we went to go take our final, and lo and behold, there's two people sitting in our seats. And when we go in, he was like, "Oh, if anybody's sitting in your seat, don't you know, let them finish. I'm giving everybody like an hour extra." Mind you, we were the last, like, we were the second to last class of the day because he had like, which was like in the evening. I think we got there around like 6 p.m. And so the guys who were in our seats literally took almost the entirety of the hour. So we started like an hour late, like me and my roommate. Like some of the other people at our class started earlier than we did. And we're there, you know, plinking away, working on it was supposed to be, I think it was like I remember it was like a jigsaw engine is what we were working on, and it had to like, the parts had to move and like come apart and all that kind of stuff. 2 hours passes by because it was a 3-hour class. And all of a sudden, the two guys from the next class who were from our seats were all of a sudden up our ass to like get out and like turn in the project. And we were like, yo, he says that everybody gets an hour extra. You know, you're gonna have to wait. We had to wait an hour, right? Like, you know, like we had to do what you guys are doing now. Your turn, chill out. Well, apparently we had the unluckiness that the two bozos that sat in our seats the class after were apparently like the teacher's favorites, because then all of a sudden the teacher is up our butt about us finishing and getting out. And we were like, hold up, wait a fucking minute. We had to wait an hour for our seats because of the class before. And not just because bozo A and B show up, we have to all of a sudden like work faster. Like, bruh. And we weren't the only one. There was a couple other like students from our class that he started like basically being like, you know, when we still should have had the full extra hour, he was like, hurry up and finish, hurry up and finish, hurry up and finish. So technically, like, we were supposed to have like 4 hours total, and we just kept getting pressured, and so we lost like an hour and a half, you know, because apparently other people had like 4 hours to do it or whatever. Load of shit. Load of shit. A bunch of us wrote a complaint. I don't think it really did anything though, realistically speaking. But it was that's probably like hands down the worst like teacher I've ever had. I honestly, and to be fair, we had a running theory that he didn't like our class for whatever reason, like our specific class, because a lot of the guys were like, we've like sat at the door, because we had like 2 guys who they would show up early just to sit at the door because they didn't really have anything else to do, but they didn't want to like go off campus and forget, you know, and miss the time to come back. And he was just like, and like they were telling the rest of us while we were waiting ahead of class one day, they were just like, he's so much more descriptive to like all these other like whatever classes ahead of us. And we're like, you're shitting us. I was like, no, it's like for whatever reason. I don't know if maybe what happened was that he didn't want to teach that time slot, and then they forced him to take a class in that time slot, and then we just had the misfortune of having to deal with him being wah wah about it, and he just didn't want to do his job properly. Like I'm mistaken at the end of that, like all like I think like the only people that passed from our class were the two guys who were basically repeating the class already, so they kind of knew already what they were doing. The rest of us, I think I barely got a D, which is not a passing grade. It was terrible. To be honest, like first semester, like after the first semester was over, there were so many red flags, like thinking back about it, that, you know, when you're 18, 19, you don't really recognize it most of the times. No, or not necessarily recognize it, but you don't realize there's something you can do about it, i.e., you know, change majors or something like that. But you know, now that I'm older, obviously, like to me, those are like super obvious red flags to swap departments and go pursue like a different course, like a different department I have interest in. Which, to be fair, there was decent. I had options. I like electrical and computer engineering was always something I was pretty interested in. But holy, just thinking back about it, I still get mad about the guy. I'd probably like drop kick him if I could and not get me in trouble. I feel good for Corona. Went from huge Sonic fan to brand ambassador to now having an official. Yo, that's sick. To be fair, I feel like she just magically always has a way with like the games that she plays. Because I feel like they can tell how passionate she is about it. Because she tends to get at least when I used to watch, she would get a lot of feedback from the like, well, not like feedback, but you know, a lot of, if she did something on Twitter, the companies and stuff would respond and stuff like that, and they'd reach out and stuff like that. That's pretty cool though, to have it like officially done. I mean, that reminds me of like when Doom tried to uh but like do their best to give her like an in-game reference kind of deal. Stuff like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Wait, I need to go do the last one of the weeklies before I forget. I'm debating if I want to do disc drive farming or farming for this guy. Because I need to farm Mr. Knuckle Sandwich. I also need to finish these. I'm just gonna have him eat up all the XP. I'm kind of curious like how this works, like if it refills the XP at some point or if it's just, if it's gone, it's gone. Kind of deal. I would say that's probably one of the things that gave me a soft spot for TFT. When I used to stream a lot of TFT, and I used to tweet before I set up like the Discord for when I would go live. TFT was, I'd say probably once or twice a week their official Twitter would like respond to my tweet, like just leave like little like cheeky messages here and there, like depending on like if I came up with like a witty thing, which was kind of cool. I have a soft spot for TFT, even though sometimes it makes me want to Batista bomb somebody through a cement block. But you know, it'd be what it be. Going after Alright, we're going to do the weekly boss. What is it? I think Wulong was another one? Wulong was one I felt kind of bad because like they hadn't responded. And that was like one of the streams where I was like losing my absolute shit because it was one of the most cheesy one of the cheesiest levels was one I would do. I was like, oh no. I hope nobody stopped by. That was a good game though. I don't know. I want to revisit like Wulong at some point. I enjoyed it at the end of the playing through it, but when I was looking at the reviews, it's really bad. Apparently somehow performance is like worse than it was when I played. My performance like wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't like terrible either. I think, does she want those too? Yeah, she does. So I think I'm just gonna farm for these. See if we can get something good, and then whatever we get left over, we'll just toss it on to, we'll just toss it on over to Seth whenever he gets leveled up. If I'm still planning to use them by the time that happens. The only thing I wish is this wasn't like, well, it's not too bad that it's tied to Ether because one of the supposed future groups, the one of them has like a robo girl that I was kind of interested in, and supposedly she's ether damage or like ether anomaly or something. She's ether something. We don't know what she'll be, but apparently she's supposed to be ether. But if that's the case, then it's not too bad. But it just kind of sucks for now because the only ether character I have is Nicole, and I don't really have a reason to use her at all whatsoever. Especially because I don't think the next dude is ether. This guy is the reason that I was just like, their thing about like getting staggered is kind of dumb. Cause like if you're playing something melee, he kind of just they kind of just screwed you. You don't have CG or some sort of shielding. All guys are keeping pace with Sonic and doing spin dash in the video. So music videos are meant to add to the Corona lore. The lore. Corona is now canonically as fast as Sonic. It can do spin dashes. Bro. You're just sitting there minding your own business at a stoplight. You're trying to like reach over to the you know, the pedestrian button to tell it that you're there. All you do is you hear the music video in the background and yubi yubi zoom, and all of a sudden you got no yubis. You just have the palm of your hand, and you're in shambles. And now you have to go watch Corona streams to try to get them back. Truly legendary. Truly legendary. Oh, sheesh. My favorite kill wipeout screen. For scientific reasons. Still think she would look better in like slacks or something. That's fine. Bullseyes. It's fine. Bro, when you get the parry off, because Yadagi has a parry built in, it's kind of hard to use. It definitely takes practice. It's on, but it's like, oh, it's so good when you hear the ting shing, and you're just like, yeah, baby. It's just like, oh yeah. Oh, this is new. Wait, really? They use it on Kaleda? Why is Yanagi not here? What is this? What is this? Yanagi should be right here, dog. Because everybody and their mamas that has her built out is using her with Chaos Jazz. Yeah, Rita's like the only one who uses Puffer Electro. She's the only one that has a reason to use Puffer Electro. And we don't have another DPS fire character because because I was thinking Bernice just doesn't care for like a fire damage two piece. Like she just wants 4-piece Chaos Jazz, 2-piece two-piece Freedom Blues. Yeah. It's kind of interesting that it's like based off of player data too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Yanagi and like technically if I actually cared to play Yanagi properly, we wouldn't really use Rina. We would be using Piper instead. Because that actually affords her highest cap. Because Piper, especially because I have Piper's W engine, uh, gives she applies between her and Caesar. They apply what's it called? Whatever the physical uh anomaly is. I forget what it's called off the top of my head right now. That's how often I use it. Uh, so yeah, we would use her with Caesar and then Yanagi, and then just have Yanagi built for like full anomaly. But I don't feel like doing that. It's fucking. Not to mention, I have Rena. I want to put her to use. Because to be honest, I'm thinking right now, like Yanagi is quite literally the only electric character that can use Rena. We'll have to see if what is it? The Section 6 dude that comes after Lighter, if he uses her at all. Like if he's a good synergy for her at all. I forgot that we also came here to do the weekly boss. What do I need? Wing Jazz. This needs to be not HP. This needs to be pen ratio. There you go. Yeah, this I don't think it matters if it's attack or not. Oh, actually, energy. Actually, we'll keep the impact on. No, that might be decent character in the future. On this anomaly proficient. Okay. Oh right. I was holding on to one of these because if we get a puffer electro that could fit into that fifth slot, then I could swap this in. I forgot about that. Actually, do I have a puffer electro? Because this is just HP, so it doesn't really matter what's in here. No, right. That's why. Because that was the only one I had was just ether damage bonus, which is even less of a useful thing than the rate attack. Well, we can hold on to that for now. We just want a bunch of pen ratio because that's what she transfers over when she does her thing. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking about making a code for though, is for like stats and stuff to do the math for me for skills. But like for instance, Lucy. I mean, people have Excel spreadsheets for this, but like Lucy transfers 200% of the well, she transfers a percentage of her attack over with her buff, and it's up to a certain cap. I remember where to see. Yeah, attack increases is like 18.6% of Lucy's attack plus 68. So then you gotta like math out. Like she's terrible because I haven't really built her too like at all. I was like in the process of starting to build her when I got like a different when I got Rena for a different setup. Yeah, like this is another one, right? For Akaku. When she launches Fly the Flag, her attack is increased by 20% of her initial attack up to 500. But when consuming the Vortex, which is her 3 stacks, it doubles up to 1,000. So you need to like calculate how much attack you need. Because you basically need enough attack where 20% of it translates over to 1,000, or at least as close as you can get to that. Which, to be honest, it's kind of hard to get to that, but because it's like it's only 20% of her attack, right? And she doesn't get like a modifier added on top of it. Because like 20% of 20 is 200. 20% of 1,000 is 200. Or 20% out of 100 is 20. 20% of 1,000 is 200. You just start bumping that up, right? 1,000 attack is 200. 2,000 attack is 400. 3,000 attack is 600. Like so on and so forth, right? So to get to 1,000 attack, you need what, 5,000 attack? I don't even think that's humanly possible at the moment. Oh, she is. I need to get Ambia. leveled up just because, well, it's Ambi. Ambi's probably like my favorite of the starting characters. Honestly, like for the starting launch characters, it's like Ambi, Kaleda, and then probably it really. Well, I like Lucy's like outfit, but it mostly because of the baseball bat. And then Jane Doe and Chingy were really nice. Bernice I just liked because she had flamethrowers, honestly. Also, the fact that all of the like sons of Kaladin are blonde is interesting to me. Well, I guess like Caesar's like not blonde, but like everybody else is blonde, right? Hyper. Well, all the females, because Lighter's hair is black. But interesting design choice. I just found it weird because of how varied like the hair color for some of the other groups are. And Chingy's over here with like green hair. So is Corrin. Corrin's hair. Corrin's hair is green that goes like Super Saiyan green whenever if you have her like W engine. It's kind of funny. Also, it's so funny how like it's been less than a year since I started like actively trying to farm like Diaspora. This is how you know I'm tired because I'm saying the word like too often. But I remember when I first was trying to farm Diaspora, I was spending like most of the time being just praying that I could get the stacks before dying. And then now it's like I can get the stacks before dying pretty easily. I just have to make sure I don't mess up the rotation to some degree so that it takes me longer to get said stacks. Because, what was it? The first time this week that I started grinding Diaspora again, I let Shishuku die on accident because I forgot that Diaspora applies the debuff to everybody in the party, even if they don't get hit. So she died to a burn stack. And then my dumbass forgot that I had oh crap, that's the wrong person. Forgot that for whatever reason I had turned off the charge attack when I was trying to full auto through the or not full auto but auto attack through the like 97 hit portion, and so I wasted Shishuku's shield and I had to heal her so she didn't get her like double Ogi off. And I'm like, what is wrong with me, bro? To be fair, in my defense, yesterday was because I was going to bed and I laid down and went, oh snap, I forgot to do Diaspora. And so I was doing it like half asleep. But, you know, at the same point, it was, why did I even turn on the hold or, like, you know, make them hold Ogi when I get it to 100 gamma stacks, my job is done. Then it's up to the fronting Zerkers to do their thing. Is what I would say, but I've been seeing a bunch of lumberjacks pop up recently, and my Diaspora just mulching that thing. I don't know what happened there. What was the last one? It wasn't yesterday, because yesterday I didn't get a lumberjack. But before that, I think the one before that I got a lumberjack who beat out 2 berserkers, 2 mana divers, and then I think some dude showed up with his Voidbringer, and I was just like, bro, that's insane. The only parts of the team I remember, because I went to check on the battle log, because they took MVP. Because that was the one where I was only at like 4 point something mil. All I remember distinctively was it was doing 2 off element characters to get instantly killed by Diaspora, and then bringing in, I remember one was Earth Olivia, but I don't remember who the other character was that they were having brought in. All right. Now we're back to saving up so we can buy next month's tuning calibrator. But I don't know, like it was I know it was a Titan grid. I just don't know because they were main handing the Opus. But I was blown away. I was like, damn. Like I knew Lumberjack wasn't bad. I just didn't know it was strong enough to compete against Hunting Zerkers. And he was not the first one to join. I remember for a fact that was one of the Zerkers, the Hunting Zerkers was the first ones in. And he still caught up and beat them. Like I was impressed. I was like, sheesh. I just know it's not something I would be able to compete with though. Especially just as soon as I saw that Titan was on there. I was like, yep, no, that's not a me. I guess we can go do some of these side quests that I've been neglecting. Technically, I should be doing this. The Shiyu defense. Because this one reset. Yeah, it's just funny how, and honestly, it was a combination of 2 things. One, I stopped. Well, actually, no. For that one, it was specifically the Cosmos axe was definitely a huge outlier there. Or like I definitely saw a pretty good size and damage putting the Cosmos axe in the Diaspora. Because I just replaced what is it, the Bennu? I had a Bennu bow in that grid. So that was a really big upgrade there. Good stacks, nice. Yeah, it's just cool to see. It's also good because that's like one of the only things that made me even try to use Shishuku, because I'm like 90% sure if I tried to use her before, it wouldn't have worked out too well. Not even close, bro. Part of that is just because Yanagi's like so much easier to use. And Shock is just so good, because Shock does like micro stuns, basically. Yanagi just saved us so much time on that though. Beautiful. Love to see it. Yeah, see, this is where I have the problem though. As soon as I run into an enemy that's resistant to ice or resistant to electric, I'm kind of screwed. Because I don't have anything else for this build. This is why I don't like enemy resistance. Specifically in MiHoYo games. Because I got nothing. I literally have nothing for this. I do not have a fire, physical, or ether carry that I feel like is good to use. So I'm going to sacrifice a lot of time loss on one of these. The only way this works is if somehow, like, I don't know what the guy, the section 6 bow guy, this is, I mean, this is on the assumption that the leak is true, that we get him for free. Because like it won't help me anyway going for Miyabi for these guys, but even then, by the time Miyabi comes out, I think it'll rotate into the new one. Because this is basically Bernice slash Jane Doe team. And then Zuyan team. But this one's not a problem because neither of them are really an issue because they're just, neither of them is resistant to electric. There's probably something in here that's resistant to electric. Oh wait, no, actually this rotates in 8 days. Yeah, it'll be out of here before even Lighter shows up, because I think Lighter's banner is in 8 days. Oh no, Lighter's banner is in 4 days. But yeah, so it won't really matter. No, yeah, 8 days is when the month reroll like rolls over. Alright, yeah, that's dead to me. But that's why I don't like elemental resistances, specifically in like MiHoYo games, because it's like you need so many characters. Because like the option would be building Nekomata, but that means farming enough of these to level her up, which I haven't touched the assault one in forever because, well, so far none of the characters coming out are that I planned on investing in were assault. It was defense anomaly, and then Miyabi is apparently anomaly. I don't remember what the bow dude from section 6 is. He might be assault. I might have to like have a reason there, but then again, he doesn't come out for another what, 2.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks, something like that, because he's the banner after next. Then I'd also have to like farm for, first of all, to level up, then I have to, you know, enhance all over this, and then I have to enhance all of this. It's just, it's not worth, in my opinion, the amount of effort you have to put into it. Because it's not like I haven't been enhancing things, right? Like, I've been getting stuff for Rina to get set up, but you know, I still need to finish like actually farming good sets for Yanagi, or like a better set. The set I have now is pretty good. You know, that was the where like she's obviously like she's level 60 and she's like capped out for skills. Like she's at the breakpoints she wants to be at, but even then, like she's pretty good, pretty good to go. Ooh, electric keys. But I just don't feel like it, especially because like I just don't like Nakamata's playstyle at all whatsoever. I'm not a big fan of it personally. And Nakamata was the first. MiHoYo games are like slightly cursed for me, and the fact that every single one of them, the first like high rarity character I get is always one that I just neglect because I don't care for them. It's somewhat of a trend. Star Rail kind of broke it a little bit because I don't care for Japard, but he was useful enough that I still built him. But I do not care for him at all. I guess maybe it'd be closer to say the first like DPS character I get is one that I neglect, because that still holds true. The first DPS like 5-star I got in Star Rail was the Hunt Ice Boy. And he's like kind of built, but I tossed him in a corner. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And then I got Jing Yuan. And then now I have Fei Xiao, so I have even less reason to build. He's just farther in that corner. So I guess if they, I don't know. Well, no, if he ever gets the chance to get his like huge ice gray sword maneuver, he's probably just gonna be a different version. Which you'll have to gotcha for. He's weak to light. You are. But I don't know, for whatever reason, MiHoYo games, the first like DPS high rarity character I get, I just don't like them. I just throw them in a corner. Genshin Impact, I got what's considered like the best start, which was I got the Luke off of the beginner banner. I leveled him up a little bit at the beginning, and then as soon as I got Beto from standard banner, I just tossed him in a corner. I had friends who were just like screaming at me. They're like, why are you not using him? I'm like, cause he sucks. He was hands down like the strongest character I launched. I think he was like the strongest DPS character for like a year, basically, or something like that. It was a while. it was a while. And I just never used him. I'd use him every once in a while. Like the only reason he got built was because I needed him built for some of the for some sort of material need. As in Genshin in particular, it was like you couldn't use the character you were building to farm for stuff for the character you were building, because a lot of the whatchamacallit, the ascension materials were from the cubes, which were immune to damage from the same element. So that's the only reason he ever got built. I just find it funny that it's a trend that's continued through all of their games for me. Even though apparently apparently there's like some rumor or something about like some Animal Crossing esque gotcha game or something they're gonna come out with. That one I don't actually know about play. I don't know. I'll watch people I know do Animal Crossing streams, like, and they'll just chill, like while watching. They make great background noise, but playing as one, that's a different story, dog. That's a different story. That's a different story. That's a different phrase in Spanish. I mean, it translates well to English. I just don't know if y'all get it. Which, to be honest, I don't fully understand it either. But it's just how we say it. It's like, that's another $20. Son otro 20 pesos. Like, so that's what, yeah, that's a response when you say something. You're like, nah, that's something else. That's something else. You know, it's basically what that means. Con otro 20 pesos. But yeah, like my tongue can't talk. Can't even say the phrase correctly. Yeah, that's a different story. There we go. That's the English. I don't know why. Sometimes my brain, like, cause like my parents speak predominantly Spanish. My brain will sometimes auto translate a saying in Spanish into English when I can't remember the English like version of it. Cause that's basically the English version of it. Is, you know, it's a different story. It's just that's not what we say. That catches most of them. I caught all of them except for the one that I was expecting it to catch. I was expecting it to catch the shield dude that was here, like right behind this pillar, and it caught the guy to the left, which I was for sure gonna catch. And then it caught the two guys over here, which I didn't think it was gonna catch. That's actually funny. I was a surprised Pikachu face when I see the one dude who I'm like, oh, the two guys on the left are definitely dead, and it kills one dude on the left and like everybody else on the right, and the one dude that was like in the middle of the left, and he was like, and I was like, all right, fucker, come here, bring that ass here. Oh, so, yeah, we'll do this one and then we'll wrap up for the night. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to find a little like pet project to work on for Python on Friday nights. It'll be like Monday through Thursday will be like the lecture stuff. I'll try to focus on that, and then Friday nights, and then I'll like find a little like side project that I want to work on. I'd like to find something useful, like that I can use in a day-to-day. Not necessarily, yeah, like whether gaming related or otherwise. But if not, I'll just find something that like garners my interest. Animal Crossing is chill because they got having to pay off debt. Old ones can be stressful from having to pay off that debt. Oh, you're right. You're right. They made the new ones for them young folk that don't know. Them old ones was them old ones were preying on some old people anxiety. Like, there you go. Debt paid off. Get to work. Yeah, because all I've heard for the like the newer ones is just like, oh, I gotta find the perfect resident. That rhino doesn't look as good as it should. I'm like, first of all, why ain't you collecting bears? Second of all, that rhino looks fantabulous. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, that missed. Oh, no, it didn't. Oy. Get him, strong boo, get him. Oh, well, because like another example is like that web fishing game that's like really popular recently. That's basically just like low poly count Animal Crossing fishing. That's a game I'll watch people I know play it. I'm chilling. Like I'm vibing in the background, you know? Just perfectly fine. I have like absolutely no interest in actually playing that game. Nothing wrong with it, honestly. It looks like I'm pretty sure that I'd probably lose hours just sitting there fishing because it's, you know, oh hey, the door's open. Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up, bro? Nice little sofa. Oh, we got the couch and the sofa. Sheesh. And the chair. Dog, how many people you got over? I don't think we got that many in our room. Yeah, we got a sofa in our room. What the fuck? What is this? What is this shit? Got that bicycle? Got that skateboard? We got some lockers? Why don't we got lockers? Why do I not have lockers in my room? Why is we need some talking? These shelves are cool though. Well, this one not so much because he doesn't have anything on his, but I like those shelves. I like the addition of them. Maybe save up so we can get the full set for the little Bang Boo Bros. But I love that you can put the W engines you like on it. I put the ones that I have for the cutting hairs up there. We're missing the Knuckle model one for that. There's Ben and Kaleda's. And then we have Sokaku's and Hypers just because I like the way they look. I like this. This was pretty cool. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. It's why, like, you know, I talk about I played like Harvest Moon games before. I don't think I play them anymore, but I could play a game like Atelier Ryza because it's like crafting and gathering for more dirt. Sign me up. Crafting and gathering to, you know, pay the budget and do the other things. Have to be a no from me, dog. That's gonna have to be a no from me. Not enough blood for the blood god. How am I supposed to get skulls for the skull throne? Huh. If she's not. And doing her crazy rankies. Yep. We're gonna say hi to Eru. She's suffering in the ranked Apex. We're gonna go say hello. But yeah, so that's the general plan is I'm gonna try to be productive over the weekend and not just play video games because I want to play the new TFT thing, new TFT set, try to grind that up. And then I think I have light plans to play Deadlock with some friends. But I'll try to see if I can find a little side project, you know, something kind of fun, something kind of cool to work on. So that way, have something to do on Friday that's a bit more Friday nights that's a bit more engaging for my brain. Who knows? Maybe I'll get so wrapped up in it, you know, I'll put a pause on the lectures and we'll just figure out how to like code the thing up, and maybe that'll just get the ball rolling in that. I don't know. I wanted to see how I felt about coding and stuff before looking into some of the more like paid features like boot.dev and stuff like that. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. If it's alright, nephew, have a good day. If it's alright, nephew, hope you rest well. Stay safe, stay hydrated. I hope y'all have a good weekend. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye bye.